Every morning, before the rest of the town stirred, a girl woke up at 4 am. Before the world knew her as the Chakdaha Express, before she became the highest wicket taker in women's ODIs, she was just the lanky teenager in a small town about 65 kilometers away from the city of Kolkata. She might not have had the best of resources, but what she had was a train, the 5:05 am Krishna Nagar local, and a dream that she couldn't explain to anyone around her. Before we get into the story of Jhulan Goswami and her rise to the top, a special mention to Free Hit, the story of women's cricket in India, a solid book on the sport by Suprita Das. This story and a lot more I'll be doing going forward is inspired by this book, so please do give it a check if in case you're interested in reading. The Goswami family was ordinary in the best sense of the word. Father Nishit had a steady job at Air India. Mother Jharna kept the home together. There were 3 children, Jhulan, Jhumpa and Kunal. The plan for them was simple: study hard, get a good job and live a stable life. Jhulan's first love wasn't even cricket. Like most Bengalis, she grew up loving football. In fact, Argentina's heartbreaking loss to West Germany in the 1990 FIFA final left a deep impact on her. The visuals of her crying Diego Maradona emotionally motivated Jhulan too. He was her biggest hero and several pages of her school books had his name scribbled on them. Then came 1992 and the Cricket World Cup in Australia changed everything. The coloured clothing, the white ball, the floodlights. Kapil Dev, Imran Khan, 10-year-old Jhulan was completely mesmerized by the sight of fast bowlers running in under those lights. She had never held a leather cricket ball in her life, but began walking around her house, rotating her arm and bowling with an invisible ball to imagine a feel of it. Her parents thought of it as a phase. It wasn't. Playing with a group that mainly comprised teenage boys fueled her need for speed. The boys didn't let her bowl enough because she was too slow for them, and that was enough motivation for a competitive Jhulan. Having been picked as a ball girl for the 1997 Women's World Cup final between Australia and New Zealand at the iconic Eden Gardens, that experience was a life-altering one for the then 15-year-old. But it wasn't the stadium that stayed with her. It was one player, Catherine Fitzpatrick. Catherine was bowling like a female possessed, and Jhulan watched along like a kid obsessed. That night, a decision was made. It wasn't spoken out loud or written down anywhere, but made nonetheless. She wanted to be Catherine Fitzpatrick, and to do that, she couldn't stay in Chakdaha. She had heard of a cricket coaching camp in South Calcutta run by a man named Swapan Sadhu. Jhulan worked out a route. Wake up at 4 am, get ready and catch the Krishna Nagar local at 5:05 am, reach Yalda in a couple of hours, and then take a bus to Bollyganj to be at the Vivekananda Park by 7:30 am. Once done with her practice, she took the train back at 9:30 am and then attend school after that. On those train rides, the tall girl with the kid bag drew stares. Some people were amazed that women's cricket even existed. Some politely told her that this was pointless. Some weren't even sure if she was a girl. When Jhulan first walked into the camp, Sadhu asked what she could do. Everything, she said. He promptly asked her to bowl. For 3 straight weeks, that's all she did. She never touched the bat. She bowled at the same girls playing the same forward defensive shots, and she couldn't understand why won't they just hit it. Finally, she demanded a chance to bat. When Sadhu let her have one over, she swung for everything. A ticked off Sadhu gave her the scolding of a lifetime and suspended her for the day. At home, matters were getting out of hand as her parents became increasingly skeptical about their eldest daughter's strange capade. When Jhulan came clean on her ambition to represent the woman in blue, her father's response was direct and unforgettable. Women's cricket, is it something to be eaten or put on your hair? Just when it seemed like Jhulan would have to call off on her dreams, Sadhu did something coaches rarely do. He showed up at their door unannounced and sat with her parents. He told them about their daughter's height, her high arm action, her rare talent. He told them that she was going to play for India. The Goswamis agreed, but on the condition that one of the parents would accompany Jhulan whenever she travelled to Calcutta. In late 1999, her 3 for 13 against Air India in a zonal tournament caught the attention of India captain Purnima Rao. A few months later, Jhulan had an Air India contract, which, along with financial security, came with an opportunity to share a dressing room with the likes of Anju Jain, Anjum Chopra and Purnima Rao. She also shifted bases to Mumbai to be able to train at the MIG ground, where she learnt a great deal watching the likes of Narendra Hirwani, Sameer Dighe and Sanjay Manjrekar sweat it out. Soon enough, the Mumbai under-19 boys were Jhulan's guinea pigs. She loved having the last laugh, often intimidating them with bouncers. The camaraderie was great, but the experience of playing against boys every day made her more competitive and hungrier. And Ra also doubled up as a mentor who would change her life. She was part cricket coach, part mother. She taught Jhulan to speak English for overseas tours, how to interact with the press, and how to carry herself in the public. Some evenings, Jhulan fell asleep in Rao's lap listening to cricket stories. Some other nights, she had to be shooed away at midnight so they could both get some rest. In Jan 2022, at 19 years old, Jhulan Goswami made her debut for Team India in a 5-match ODI series against England. The night before her first match, she called her parents from Chennai. She was worried. What if she didn't take a single wicket? In her mind, a wicketless debut meant the end of her career. After Captain Anjum Chopra won the toss and opted to bowl first, she opened the bowling for her side. In the third over, she found the edge of opener Carolyn Atkins. By the end of the match, 2 for 15 from 7 overs stood her figures. An economy rate of just 2.14. She looked up at the sky and said a quiet prayer. Maybe she did belong here after all. Think about what it takes to wake up at 4 a.m. Not once, not for a season, but for years. To sit on a train full of strangers who tell you that it's pointless. To have your own father not understand the dream. To get shouted by your coach and come back the next day. And to do it all again and again. Not because someone told you that you'd make it, but because a 15-year-old ball girl stood at the boundary of Eden Gardens and watched a woman bowl at 125 km per hour one afternoon in 1997. Jhulan Goswami would go on to become the first Indian woman to take 10 wickets in a single test. She later also became the highest wicket taker in women's ODI history. A feat that's still not broken. If you liked watching this video, do consider subscribing to Women's Cricket Central for more such deep dives into the world of women's cricket. Until then, it's a goodbye from me.